This video is brought to you by Heineken. What's going on, world? What's cracking, gang? What's the deal? It's everybody's favorite Unk. And I just wanted to talk to you guys right quick, man. It's Christmas Eve. I was hanging out in the toy room, just kind of contemplating all of life's mysteries. Just kind of bored, man. And I just thinking about some things, man. You know, I just put out my top 10 figures of the year list. I put out my top 10 wrestling figures of the year list. I was gonna do like a video of the ToyTubers you need to be watching or something like that. But I just kind of wanted to take some time and just like give some thanks and give some shout outs to some of the YouTubers that I enjoy watching, man. And kind of just talk to you guys, man. I don't really have like a lot of stuff coming in, man. I think like this is probably going to be my last video of the year. I got, as far as pre-orders, I got Yamcha coming from Premium Bandai in March or February, I can't remember. I put down the $5 on that Future Gohan by Demoniacal Fit, but who knows when the fuck that's gonna drop. Pre-ordered that Jade Rabbit from Beast Deities, the Jade Rabbit Vegeta. But yeah, man, nothing really coming. I do want to try to get my hands on that new retro carded Scarlet Spider. That's one that I regret not pre-ordering. If I can find one for like cheaper than 40 bucks, you know, I don't want to spend more than 30 bucks on it anyway, but I just got a feeling it's going to be fucking expensive because the OG is super expensive anyway. But if I can find one for less than 40 bucks, I may grab one of those because I really do need a Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider from my Spider-Verse collection. But I'm not really too pressing a lot of stuff right now, man. I was in Target today, and lately I've been kind of like, you know, I've been kind of just getting stuff that's going on sale that I haven't been able to grab, you know what I mean? Like as far as wrestling stuff, I'm kind of good right now, you know what I mean? I have like all the characters I want, so I've been real selective. Dragon Ball stuff, you gotta wait for these pre-orders, you know what I'm saying? And it's so expensive, you gotta be selective anyway. But I've been kind of like, you know, dabbling more in some of the Joes and in McFarlane, weird enough. I don't even really like DC like that, but mostly for Spawn. But and we'll get into that because I got a 2-pack the other day just for the effect piece, and I'll show you some stuff from that too. But I picked up this guy at Target today. I picked up Tiger Force Dusty at Target today, and like, yo, it's funny because like I had been waiting to grab this guy for the past 2 months. And for some reason, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it seems like over the past year, like all the G.I. Joe stuff has gone on clearance within the first like 2 or 3 weeks that it's out. For some reason, Tiger Force Dusty, it was like Target was like, nah, nigga, we are not gonna put this shit on clearance. Like that motherfucker was $24.99 for the last 3 fucking months, bruh. And like I swear, Flint went on sale before him, and Flint came out after him. The Vipress, the Ninja, she went on sale before him. So finally today, I just was like, you know, out getting some stuff for Christmas dinner tomorrow. And I popped in Target, and this nigga was on sale. And I was like, yo, I have to pull the trigger. Finally, $12.49. So I grabbed Dusty. But yeah, I've been grabbing little stuff like that I've been missing out on. I got a McFarlane 2-pack the other day at 2nd and Charles for $25. I got the Batman Azrael versus whatever other Batman. I don't know. I'm not like a big Batman fan. But the reason I got the 2-pack is it comes with like a flame effect that's really fucking cool. And I'm using the flame effect for my Itachi on my Naruto shelf. Can't wait to get Obito. It's gonna look good with Obito too. Cause you know, flame style and all. But I got this Batman 2-pack, and for real, like I said, I don't even really fuck with Batman or McFarlane like that. But this Azrael Batman is pretty damn cool. And $25 for 2 figures with the swords plus the effect. I really was like, damn, you know, because I was looking at it and I was like, I want that flame effect. And then I looked at the price and I was like, $25? You know what? I'll grab 2 Batman figures that I don't really need or want. And, you know, this one looks kind of cool. Maybe I'll sell them. Maybe I'll keep them. I don't know, man. Let me know if anybody in the comments is interested in this Azrael Batman or the other Batman that comes with them. I kind of like this figure, though. It looks kind of cool. I could even use this for, like, custom fodder because this buck is pretty cool as well. But, yeah, I don't want to bore you guys too much with, like, pickups and stuff and talking about all of that. I really just wanted to, like, drop in on Christmas Eve, say what's up to my peoples, man. You know what I'm saying? wish everybody a happy holidays and give some shout outs to some of the YouTubers, the ToyTubers, that I've been watching lately, man. And this has been my first year, my first full year pretty much on YouTube. And I've gotten to meet some really cool people. I've discovered some really cool channels that I wouldn't have known about otherwise. And I just felt like I just needed to take a little bit of time to you know what I'm saying, to give some recognition to some of those channels, man. Because if you're like me, you're probably always trying to find new stuff to watch. So hopefully by watching this, you can find some other new stuff to watch, you know. I'm gonna try not to like name any like big ToyTubers. I really want to give a shout out to guys who are like on the come up still, like less than like 2,000 subscribers type thing that I really fuck with, or around 2,000 subscribers or less, whatever. But the first person I want to give a shout out to before I get into everybody else is Bored Figures, man. If you're not watching Bored Figures YouTube channel, definitely do it. If you watch my channel or follow my channel at all on the community tab, I gave him a shout out after I saw his first video called This Is My Chaotic Shelf. I think that's what it was called. And it was basically a video where he was talking about his shelf and why it was set up like how it was. And it was just so relatable, man, because it's a great reminder that as a collector, your collection is your collection. And that you shouldn't feel like you need to make your shelf any other way than the way you want it, man. And just watching that was so heartwarming, and it reminded me of why I do this. And I feel like any collector can relate to that. But besides that, man, his videos are really fun. They're very high quality. He's an artist, and you can tell by his eye, the way he frames things, the way he poses his figures. Everything is just really clean and well shot. And like, he's just an all-around cool dude, man. So definitely check out his channel. He's still growing. He's a very small YouTube channel right now. I actually have some, he 3D prints. So I actually have some joints coming in from him, and not like articulation joints, but like joints that you smoke for action figures, like 1/12 scale joints. So I'll probably do a video on that at some point in the future, but definitely check out Bored Figures, man. Shout out to you, Bored Figures. That's my guy, man. Salute to you. Happy holidays, by the way, as well. Another person I want to give a shout out to is the Savage Land. And like, honestly, like when I watch ToyTubers, I like to watch people who collect things that I don't collect that much of, or that I am less knowledgeable about, because I like to learn about those things. You know, it's more interesting to me to be gaining more knowledge about stuff I don't know about. And for me, like the Savage Land, like there's probably like lots of other guys on YouTube that are just as knowledgeable about G.I. Joe, or maybe have a bigger G.I. Joe collection. But for G.I. Joe specifically, he's like my go-to ToyTuber that I watch. Him and a Punk with Toys, both of those guys. I'll shoehorn in Punk as well, because a Punk with Toys is really cool as well. But Savage Land, man, his videos are just so damn entertaining, man. He's got high energy, and he's just very knowledgeable. Like, I feel like I'm always learning something new about the toys he's talking about when he talks about them. He has multiple different types of content he does. He does kind of news videos, he does toy reviews, he does hunts as well. Just a whole, like, you know, a smorgasbord of toy content over there at the Savage Land. And he's a brother doing it, man. It's always good to see other brothers doing it in the community, because, you know, there's not a whole lot of us. There seems to be more of us as of late, but there's not a whole lot of us. My nigga. But shout out to him, man. And like I said, I love watching him and the Punk with Toys channels, specifically for G.I. Joe, because I'm a casual Joe collector. I didn't grow up on G.I. Joe. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about the characters or the backstories. I just think they're cool ass action figures. So the more information I can have about why, you know, some of the purists may not like a certain color that, you know, something was painted, or if the accessories weren't right, because that doesn't matter to me, just because I want the action figure because it looks cool. So shout out to both of those guys. And Savage does collect more than G.I. Joe. He does wrestling, you know, he does some anime stuff, he does like video game stuff too. Like, he collects a very wide variety of figures, but he's very knowledgeable specifically in G.I. Joe for sure. So shout out to the Savage Land and a Punk with Toys. Another thing about a Punk with Toys, before I move on from, you know, them, I'm kind of grouping them together, but before I move on from them, a Punk with Toys too, he's a skater. So I can relate to him on a lot of things that he says. He always has these little puns or metaphors that he's making that you wouldn't know unless you're a skater. It's almost like if you play basketball or something and you meet somebody who plays basketball, and you can tell by the way they talk about it, they don't really know what they're talking about. But vice versa, when you meet somebody that you can tell that they really know what they're talking about, you know, you can relate to that person. And the way he talks about skateboarding and kind of compares it to collecting sometimes is really cool. So shout out to a Punk with Toys as well, you know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to Just Incredible. If you're watching this, you probably know Just Incredible's channel too. Another guy who we don't really collect similarly at all. He's mostly like Transformers, Joes, Turtles. I've been tempted to like hop in Turtles because when I was younger, I was a big fan of the movies. Like the movie Turtles specifically was kind of like my thing when I was a kid. But they're just really expensive, and like I don't like Turtles enough to dedicate a space to Turtles in my collection. You feel me? But shout out to Just Incredible, man. Hilarious dude. So fucking funny. His like impersonations of like Uncle Tim and Mad Hatter and who else does he do? He impersonates everybody, and it's fucking hilarious, bro. And he just seems like such a cool ass, chill ass dude. Again, another brother doing it. My nigga. And he's like really good at the like uncut, like raw, just talking to the camera style of content. Kind of like this video, for real. Like, but he's just way more entertaining than I am, in my opinion. That motherfucker's hilarious. And another one that I learned things while watching his channel as well. I don't know anything about Transformers really. I watched Beast Wars as a kid, but I was never a big Transformers fan. You know what I mean? I don't know much about like, you know, Power Rangers or G.I. Joe, and he's very knowledgeable about those things. And yeah, like just an all-around fun channel, man. So shout out to Just Incredible as well. Another one I want to give a shout out to, this dude we actually collect very similarly, and I think that this guy is the king of like Dragon Ball Z and anime content, and that is Bombastic Plastic AF. Shout out to Bombastic Plastic AF, man, because when I first started collecting, he is one of the first channels that I like got on because I was collecting like pretty much his Dragon Ball stuff. And man, talk about a wealth of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is one of those ones where like, you know, a lot of the things he's talking about I may already know, but he also might put me onto something that I didn't know. And it's a very good channel for somebody who's trying to collect, especially like SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball stuff or third-party Dragon Ball stuff. It's a very good channel for you to watch and learn about where to get certain figures, how pricing works, where to get the best deals, when stuff is dropping. You know, like it's very informative. Like I learned about 5K Toys and Hobby Genki and stuff like that by watching Bombastic Plastic's channel. Demoniacal Fit stuff, I didn't know it existed until I watched Bombastic Plastic AF's channel. You know, so yeah, man, like just, you know, all around good brother seems like, man. And we've had like a few interactions here and there on YouTube, and he seems like a really cool dude. But if you collect the stuff behind me, specifically like Dragon Ball Z, SH Figure Art stuff, he's a mandatory follow. Him and Burst ZG as well. Burst ZG is another dude. I gave them both a shout out in my Kong Studios SSJ5 review earlier this year. But him and Burst ZG as well. They're both very knowledgeable. But yeah, shout out to Bombastic Plastic, another brother doing it really big on YouTube here as well, man. He's growing as well. So definitely follow his channel. Like I highly recommend, if you're watching this, you're probably a fan of a lot of the same stuff I am. Follow his channel, bro. Like you won't be disappointed. He's pretty much like the Figure Arts Reddit on YouTube. Like legitimately, he's like the Figure Arts Reddit on YouTube. Like you'll learn a lot from him. And man, I got to give a shout out to Articulated Ninja, man. I said I wasn't gonna shout out like big YouTube creators, but for my money, like there's nobody better as far as ToyTubers go than Articulated Ninja. I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone doing what he's doing at the same level. The only person like in the same realm to me is like D Amazing, but even D Amazing is a little different because he's mainly just a reviewer, but he does kind of have that ASMR type of vibe to him, and their eyes very similar with the way that they kind of pose their figures and stuff like that. But Articulated Ninja just has a wider variety of content than D Amazing has, and no shade to D Amazing. I love D Amazing too, but man, Ninja, man, he is just, I'll say it right now, he is like my biggest inspiration. I draw a lot from him when it comes to my my reviews, and I'll never be like able to do what he does or be on the level that he is, and that's cool because I'm trying to be my own me. Like I'm not trying to be like anyone else, but I definitely have drawn inspiration from him. And I don't know if he's an artist or not, but you can tell by his eye and the way he frames things and the way he shoots things that he's very artistically inclined. And you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't follow Articulated Ninja. And also seems like one of the nicest, coolest guys doing it. Again, another brother that's doing it big, man. And there's other big YouTubers that I'm a fan of too, like Anthony's Customs. You know, he was one of the first guys that, Anthony's Customs, Bombastic, and Articulated Ninja, all three were some of the first guys I was watching. But when I got my first figure that got me back into collecting, that Captain Ginyu that's sitting back there, that was the first Figure Arts figure that I bought. And that's what kind of kickstarted my collecting. And the first video I watched was Anthony's Customs review on that Ginyu. I had a Dragon Stars Broly before that, but it was months before that. Like, it took me months to buy that Ginyu. It was months of walking in and out of a Barnes & Noble and seeing it and being like, I'm not spending $80. And then finally on my birthday, about 2 years ago, I was like, I'm gonna buy this figure, and the rest is history. But anyway, man, yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to all those guys, man. Board Figures, Just Incredible, The Savage Land, A Punk with Toys, Bombastic Plastic AF, Articulated Ninja, Anthony's Customs. Those are all the channels you need to be watching. You need to be watching those channels if you are a collector. You will learn a lot, and you will also just be entertained in general. But anyway, man, I hope everybody's having a great Christmas. If you're watching this on Christmas, Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve where I'm at. If it's Christmas Eve where you're at, make sure you put the cookies out for, the Grinch when he comes down the chimney tonight, you know what I'm saying? Drink you a couple Heinies like I'm doing. Last video of the year, man, you know what I'm saying? Give me a like, give me a sub. If you don't like the video, dislike it, do whatever you want. I appreciate everybody stopping by, but this one is just for all my peoples, man. Until next time, peace.